Hello everyone, and welcome to the next episode of the testimony of Trixie Glimmer Smith, which is, as I mentioned before, some kind of a sequel to the Parsnip Gate that you could have seen on my channel. So without any further ado, let's just continue the game, shall we? My eyes slowly opened. A feeling of grogginess and nausea had taken over my body. I felt my mind spin. I could make out grass fluttering gently in the breeze. I looked up. A sheep gazed down at me as she chewed on some grass. As I stared, she wandered off and left me be. I took some time to properly come to, but as soon as I realized, I was crumbled in the sheep-filled and daffodil lane. The moon cast white rays across me, and I wondered, how long had I been there? What happened? It was here I slowly started to remember my time in the cottage, the decaying rooms, the black and white feathers, the strange symbols, the blood, and the two skulls speaking into my mind fast. How much of that actually happened? My eyes slowly started to focus on the grass beside me. There was a box of some kind. Or was it? I squinted at it. Whatever it was wrapped in my shiny yellow skin. I reached a weak hand over to it and ran across the top of the box. My suspicion was confirmed. It was snake skin. My hand curled around the back of the box and felt paper. It was a book. I grabbed it and pulled it above my eyes where I could see it. Embossed in black amongst the yellow skates was the title, A King in Yellow. I stared at the playbook. How had it gotten there? It was held shut by a golden ribbon, but it would only take a second to undo it. I started to reach for it, my fingers feeling the soft silk. Suddenly, a bird screeched a horrid caw. I jumped, almost dropping the book on my face. Far away, sat in a big, jeweled tree, a strange, mangy-looking magpie stared at me. I thought of the feathers in the basement. It was hard to tell at this distance, but it seemed to be staring right at me, its wide eyes reflecting the white moonlight like mirrors. I was about to shout over at it, but it took off and flapped away into the darkness of the night. I lay in the field a while longer and watched the woolly sheep march on the grass. The king in yellow held tightly against my chest. Eventually, I managed to pull myself up and started the long trek back to my room. I messaged Nikita and told her to meet me in the morning. She was still awake, presumably working on her campaign. She seemed pretty sad on retrieving the king in yellow right then, but when I told her I wasn't going to get back out of the bed, she begrudgingly agreed to wait. I shoved the plane to my back and turned my phone off, eventually settling into undisturbed sleep. My dreams were dark and confused. Me and Belle ran through a dark forest. Something terrible followed us. I could feel its eyes boring into my back. I screamed and stopped. In front of me was a steep cliffside. Belle plummeted off into the darkness below. Far across the gap without their cliff edge, I saw myself stood there looking out at me. A dark figure moved through the woods towards my twin, and with terror I realized I was looking into a mirror. I spun around to face my assailant. I found myself facing a grey, blasted landscape. At the center was a circular pool of black water. Belle stood at the center of the pool. On top of the water, she faced away from me. A flood of black water rose up from the pit to engulf us. I was blinded by it, until a bright yellow light tore through the inky darkness. The scene collapsed into itself, and I stood in an abandoned basement. I saw myself as a skeleton, a golden glow surrounding me as I turned to dust and cackled maniacally. The horrible dirty dirt looked down at me from the top of a withered tree with branches like tangled thorns. It opened its beak to caw at me, but no sound came out. The bird broke into wisps of cloud, vapor, and dissolved into the dark night. I looked down, and in my hands was the king in yellow. The bird's caw finally sounded, and I looked up. Where was once the tree was now a misty shoreline. In front of me was a spire of gleaming ivory, but before my eyes I saw it rot and decay. Behind the terrible city rose a great moon. Mist dripped from it as it emerged from a lake of cloud. The black stars of the Hades hung above me, pinpricks of oil in the red sky. Watching me from across leagues of rolling white waves stood the solitary figure of the king in yellow. He seemed to travel towards me, closer and closer, as his tattered wrappings flapped in the wind. His long bony arms stretched to remove the pallid mask, and I knew I had found myself on the path to a truly terrible fate. I woke up. It was 9 a.m., several hours earlier than I could normally wake up, but after that nightmare I was glad to be conscious. Nikita liked to tell me off for waking up late, so I assumed she wouldn't be expecting me awake for a few hours. My head still felt stuffy, so I decided to walk around the university grounds and get some air. It was a pleasant morning. A gentle wind blew softly in my weary eyes, a welcome break from the heat wave. Still, it seemed like it was going to be another warm summer day. Unfortunate. It was the last thing I needed with my albinism. I'd have to put a lot of sun shampoo on my fur. The uni campus was really nice, albeit a little old-fashioned. It looked like somewhere that could be hunted, and actually was, albeit only by the occasional gaunt-looking PhD student. Not that I was complaining. Whether my experience in the basement was real or not, I'd had quite enough ghosts for now. I walked past the old clock tower. It would have looked a lot more impressive if it wasn't broken. I don't know why you don't replace it with a digital one or something. Although obviously I'm aware that it isn't really your department, that wasn't an attack on your faculty admins. Below that was an old statue of the university's founder, P.H. Lovecraft. He was species dickhead, but now he's just dead. I stopped. I'd found one of the Nikita student prison posters. Nikita is the future, prepare for it. I love how communistic it looks like here, you know? It was pretty daunting, though on the plus side, she changed their slogan to something slightly less fascist. Well, Nikita is the future, prepare for it. Although in retrospect, that might have been worse. There was a box of leaflets under it. Nikita was clearly prepared for the next year's election. It was almost a shame that caretakers would probably take the stuff down by next week. I kind of wanted to take a look at one of the leaflets, if, just out of morbid curiosity, let's take a look. Bluebell University Student Union President Election 2019. Nikita, Manifesto for a Stronger World. Bluebell University, once the 9th highest rated university in the country, now a decaying, ruined institution, sitting at a lowly 11th. Its student body has become lazy, undisciplined, and led astray by bad leadership, poor facilities, and social societies. But I shall change this. I shall make us strong. Who am I? I am Nikita. I am the top student of the Regional History and Culture Studies course here at our prestigious university. I shall one day be our greatest student union president. This, fellow students, is my promise to you. My enemy candidates may be many, but I assure you all, among them my equals are none. Tabitha Knight especially is a try-hard bitch. That's an interesting thing to put in a leaflet. I will not save us from our collapse. My 5-point plan for a stronger world. 1. The library must be expanded and opened eternally, so that our minds too may expand. Only through knowledge can we take our rightful place in the world. 2. Too much of the university's budget is spent on frivolous activities, parties, societies, and trips, to name but a few. This must be diverted to improve our facilities. 3. The union has many worthless delegates, the sports officer, the science officer, and the administrative team, among the others. These positions should be dissolved. All power must flow to the executive. 4. The student union president should be made a permanent position, lest future presidents veer from my vision and lead us back into the abyss. 5. We need to fix the vending machine outside Wilbur Hall. It no longer probably dispenses toffee millet bars. I like the 5th point, you know, that's the one that makes the most sense for me. Thank you for your time, and remember, a vote for my enemies is a vote for your own destruction. Jeez, Nikita has issues. I tossed the leaflet back into its box. I eventually got back to my room and took a quick shower, making sure to cover myself in sun shampoo. What about the cereal on the floor? Are we going to clean it or not? Because it bothers me. I'm pretty sure it's gonna stink. You know, it's summer, it's heat wave, and there's milk spilled on the floor. Come on. I was really lucky to not get burnt yesterday, given how long I was out. Maybe the spores from the cottage rejuvenated skin and left a healthy glow on your fur. Though, looking at my gown, tired faced in the mirror, I doubted it. I finally got around to cleaning up the cereal. Yes! I spilled yesterday. Better late than never, I guess. I ended up just fucking about on my laptop to keep my mind off of things while I waited for Nikita. There was a sudden knock on my door. Trixie Glimmer Smith, stop writing weird monster erotic and open up. How did she know? I slammed my laptop shut. I still don't know if she was spying on me or it was a lucky guess. Coming! I threw some old underwear behind my bed in vain attempt to seem less disgusting and lurched over to the door. I opened it up and Nikita marched into my room, almost knocking me over. Jeez, hi Nikita. You have the book? Nice to see you too. Cut the crap, Trixie. Where's the play? Fine, whatever, but look, we need to talk about some stuff, okay? Some weird shit happened when I was finding this. I rummaged around my bag for the book, eventually pulling out the scaled yellow tome. Wow, it's really real. For once, Nikita seemed almost speechless. She walked over to me, seemingly unable to wait to get hold of it. I handed it over, but part of me wanted to keep it for myself, if just for its value. Nikita was about to undo the ribbon and leaf through these pages, but I put my hand on it, stopping her. She shot me an angry look and almost pulled away. Nikita, seriously, we need to talk. I told her everything I remembered about yesterday. My time exploring Daffodil Lane, the missing squirrels, the abandoned cottage, the skulls, the ghost, waking up in a field. I told her I didn't even know where the play had come from. Nikita, I think we need to talk to someone, the police maybe. There were skulls in the basement. This isn't just some silly thing. Trixie, those skulls were obviously props. You said yourself, there's an artist on that road. They always do weird shit like this. And no offense, but the options here are either 1. You saw a ghost? Or 2. You, the person who reads ghost porn all day, were sleep deprived, dehydrated, overheating and breathing mold spores, and imagined a ghost when you saw some spooky props. Then you forgot half the day and fainted in the field after finding the play in the cottage. It was a good point, but I still felt unsure. I'm not going to call the police, come on. There's some kind of cult, satanistic rituals. I don't want to call the police on the devil's ship. I sighed. You're right. The police are totally corrupt anyway. Thanks, capitalism. There, I told you it was pointless. Now, just keep it to yourself and I'll help you with your coursework again. Once I finished reading the play, naturally. Is that a deal, Smith? I felt wrong for not trying hard to get the police to check out the cottage. I knew it was selfish of me to ignore that it might have been a huge deal, but I needed Nikita's help. And come on, you're gonna call the police and say, like what? Like you just broken into someone's property and stole something from them? Come on. I couldn't face the idea of going back to my parents after fucking up my education and not talking to them for months. I let out an audible sigh. Whatever, as long as we are even now. Of course we are, I never lie. I wasn't sure I believed that. Well, I'm off to read this. I do appreciate your service, Trixie, as much as I hate to admit it. I'll draft your coursework for you in a day or 2. You have to finish it yourself though, I'm not your mother. Nikita was being uncharacteristically nice. Maybe she was warming to me? Anyway, you should get some sleep. You look like shit. Or no. I thought as Nikita marched out of my room. The king in yellow clutched tightly against her chest. Thanks, Nikita. I stumbled back into my bed. Nikita was exhausting. The nightmares again. A buzzing woke me up a few hours later. Someone was calling me. I was groggy and confused, so no different to normal. I reached for my phone, and through my blurry eyes I could make out Heidi's name on the screen. Hey, you owe me a job! I stopped when a bit of drool fell out of my mouth. I've never been good with naps. I need you to come to my shop at like 5 today. Don't bag out now, you owe me for that crowbar, remember? And given your obviously bullshit explanation, you don't want anyone to find out you are blatantly breaking and entering some poor innocent's house, right? She had seen through my lie. Great. What did you expect? Though it definitely wasn't an innocent house, I didn't really want to explain that to her. Hey, no, rude, it was for urban exploration actually. Oh, right, sorry. I just assumed since you were lying you were off to rob someone or something. Look, I just need your help, okay? You promised. I did owe her, and it wasn't like I had anything else to do. University? Do your homework? Your coursework? Come on, or just go get drunk, I don't know. Besides, if it would be good to get outside and distract myself for a while, even if I should have been working on my report. Yes, exactly, like, there is something to do, right? Okay, I'll help. Good. My shop at 7. Don't be late. I have a taser. 7? Didn't you mention 5 before? Wait. Oh, okay. Everyone is so rude to me. Because you let them. You're a pushover, come on. Grow some, I don't know, like ovaries or something. I curled back in my bed. I was still pretty tired. From what? From lying in bed? I had half a day to kill until Hyde needed me, and I don't want to sit here, stewing on my own thoughts all day. Yesterday, I had fucked me up pretty badly, whether I wanted to show it or not. I'd found a coupon for a free bottle of sugar rabies in my sock drawer a few weeks back, so I figured since I had nothing else to do, I could head to town and use it. Anyway, the shopkeeper let slip that the only reason Sugar Corp was giving this stuff away for free was because anyone who drank a can lost an average on 3 teeth, so no way buying it anymore. I guess they were hoping people would risk a bottle for free and end hooked up in these deviously illegal chemicals. I knew better than to wrangle with that since I don't have many teeth, bringing a rat and all. Being a rat, sorry. Fucking capitalists. What's wrong with you and, blaming capitalism for everything? You're a slacker, you do nothing all day and you want to, the shit to be handled for you for free? I don't know. Oh, the college students. My phone's clock said it was almost midday and I hadn't really eaten yet. I figured I'd combine breakfast and lunch. I decided to call this new meal lunch fast. My thoughts were cut off when a familiar figure tapped on the window next to me. I recognized Greg, the small sugar glider from yesterday. I'd wandered past the bakery without realizing it. I guess my subconscious was telling me to get lunch fast of Greg's. Hi Greg. Did you bring money this time? Hi Trixie! Are you here for some tasty treats? Yeah, I guess so. I looked around the selection. The triple chocolate muffin I did yesterday had been really nice. I did kind of want to try something new though. I'm guessing that if I click on that, she's gonna choose muffin instead, or whatever I choose, she's gonna go for muffin, right? Let's try muffin anyway. Maybe a triple chocolate muffin would be nice. Coming right up. Greg scurried back behind the counter and placed the food into a little paper bag. Fortunately, I remembered to bring my wallet today. Finally. It's nice to see you again. Sorry the bakery was so busy yesterday. I could see it was making you anxious. It's a lot calmer today. The fact that 2 customers were considered busy made me feel slightly bad for Greg. Was bakery not doing well? Oh, no problem, sorry for being weird yesterday. It was kind of hot and I already fainted once and I get anxious about buying stuff. Greg laughed sympathetically. Oh no, I hope you're feeling better today. Here, have a bottle of water on the house. That should stop you from fainting again. I felt bad accepting something for free given my suspicions about Greg's financial situation. Oh no, that's okay, I'll live. No hiking in the sun for me today. Okay. Well, the offer's there. I wouldn't want any of my friends fainting. Oh, so cute. The friendliness almost reminded me of Parsnip. Oh, Parsnip. The weirdo. I still think that Parsnip is some kind of old pedophile or something. I don't know, he gives me this creepy vibe, But thankfully Greg seemed to be capable of conversations and had an actual personality. You seem to like cakes, Trixie. Do you make any yourself? I shook my head. I don't really do much baking, or cooking in general, really. I basically just eat snacks and drinks and other drinks. Like a typical student. I probably have 4 years left to live. Oh no, I hope not. They giggled. Don't you like cooking? I don't mind cooking, but I've kind of short attention span, so my food usually ends up burnt. That was a slight understatement. The fire brigade had been called twice since I started uni, thanks to me. I used to bake bread for my parents when I was younger, but we just kinda stopped at some point when I got older. Oh, that's sad. I used to bake with my dad a lot. It was really fun. It's probably why I ended up being a baker. I could always use some help here. Oh no, do not hire Trixie. No, please, do not hire her. I could teach you to bake treats. It was a really kind offer. I did want to learn baking, and it was just another way to fuel my sugar addiction. Oh jeez, that's really kind. I feel like I just waste your time though. I'm a bit of fuck up and you probably don't need that when you're already having money thrown... I trailed off. Greg seemed to see where I was going. I was worried I'd upset them, but they seemed to hide it. If you don't feel up to it, don't worry. I know tomorrow morning probably won't be very busy though, so feel free to come along if you change your mind. I did like the idea, and Greg was really sweet. Thanks, Greg. I'll think about it. Sorry, I'm kind of a mess right now. It's been a tough few days, weeks, years. No worries, just let me know if you're coming along. Would you like my number? I'd talk some more, but I have to make a delivery in a few minutes. They motioned towards a wedding cake. A lovely icing statue of two cute mice girls kissing sat on the top. Oh, sure, yeah. Greg passed me a business card. Great, thanks, Trixie. I better close up. I'll see you soon. See you, Greg. I waved goodbye and left the bakery, munching on my food. I expected Belle would be at the Attic Mouse bar down the road, and I figured I may as well give her a visit to waste some time before I met Heidi later, if just to show I wasn't ignoring her offer. The Attic Mouse had a warm, friendly atmosphere, and was relieved to see their drinks were super cheap, by bar standards at least. I walked inside and found it was pretty quiet, understandable, really given the time of the day. Belle was sat in the corner by herself with several glasses of alcohol in front of her. Several? At this hour? I'm not really into alcohol, so I dropped £10 on the bar to pay for my pint of cola and walked over to her. So, £10 for a pint of cola? Is that cheap? Come on, I don't think so. Hey Trixie, nice to see you came along. Sadly, no one else has haha. Oh well, we pre-ordered the drinks, so more for me, I guess. She downed one of her shots. Oh, I mean, I'm not good with groups anyway. Do a lot of people usually show up? Well, there's Greg, who we met, my pal, LaRose, and artist Daffodil Laneway. Wait, I know LaRose, the tall rabbit, right? Huh, no way. Nice lady. She hasn't turned up recently though, well, she ain't been feeling great recently. It's hard for her to find the energy to hang out, you know? There's also Heidi, she's cool, a little scary but a great girl. She runs a shop here in town. Yeah, I met her yesterday too, haha. She's more than a little scary though. Haha, she's all bark and no bite. Doesn't get along so well with LaRose. They almost ended up glassing each other a few weeks back when Heidi said neopunk biker art was better than neopunk bohemian art. I don't know what either of those are, so I didn't think it was my place to mediate, you know? Jeez. It's weird how I met literally all of you by chance yesterday. Haha, that is weird. Oh, what a coincidence, right? So are you going to, give Trixie to sacrifice? Are you, still all of you in this together or something? We all know each other, and now we all know you too. She took another sip of her drink. I copied her and sipped my cola. I felt a little awkward, and just ended up staring at the TV in the corner for a bit. The Prime Minister was giving a speech about sheep exit. I rolled my eyes. I was getting pretty tired of hearing about it non-stop for the last 2 years. This is getting ridiculous. Leaving the Northwest Union just because the official sheep mascot bit the Prime Minister, 4-year-old. It's so petty. Exactly, if she didn't want her kid getting bit, she shouldn't have let her roll around the grass, go pet a sheep. We both shook our hands and touted. So you're like a milkwoman, right? That sounds kind of fun, driving around and seeing places all over. I don't get out so much, so nah, it sucks. Oh. Not much traveling either anymore, I'm afraid. Oh, of course. When you were talking to Greg yesterday, you said you only go up North Acres right now? North Acres, yeah. Nasty place. Why? She squinted at me quizzically. Oh, it's just like I study local history and stuff. North Acres is meant to be really good for that, right? It's kinda old-fashioned and remote despite only being a few miles from town. I want to take a look around, but it's kind of hard to get to. I can find any buses that go that way, so no way I'm paying for a taxi. Ha, yeah, they shoot down every proposal for a bus route. I think I might be the only outside interaction they get besides the postman. They are a weird lot. I try not to spend too much time there. She shrugged and took down the drink. But hey, if you want to have a peep around there, you're welcome to come along tomorrow morning. Oh wow. I mean, if it isn't an issue. Not at all. I could use the company. Not much to do on the job, and the boss says if he catches me reading magazines at the wheel again, he'll fire me. There's one thing to text and drive, and drive and read magazine, probably like spread on your steering wheel. That's pretty dangerous. Belle's phone buzzed. She took a look at it and sighed. Speaking of the great dictator, I gotta get going. Apparently the sheep have escaped from Daffodil Lane, probably that kid opening the gate because it looked sad being closed again. She shook her head and downed the rest of her drink. I suspected I knew who she was talking about. Oh no. I better stick around. I still have some stuff to do in town. Well, feel free to shoot me a message tomorrow morning if you're up for a really dull adventure. She chuckled and added her number to my phone. Wow, everyone really wants to hang out with me. If this were a lame dating game, I'd assume they wanted to get my pants. Gladly, it's not a lame dating game, right? So, or maybe it is. Fortunately, I keep my life very PG. I wasn't sure how much I believed that given recent events, but the slight hope nothing involving Keith and her stupid play would escalate beyond comic mischief and some rude language was reassuring. I don't play enough video games to get the joke, but sure. I hadn't meant to say that out loud. Anyway, I better get going. See you around, Trix. She strolled off as calm as ever. I finished my drink and sat around for a while, glad today had been full of distractions. I still wasn't ready to think about yesterday's events. Eventually, I knew it was time to head to Heidi's. I didn't want to be late. She apparently had a taser. I have to admit, I was slacking on my way to Heidi's shop. Drinking a pint of cola right before walking was a great decision on my part. Sorry I'm late, I'm here now. Please don't tase me. Haha, Trixie, I was about to call you. Good. Thank you for coming. I was worried you might be a deal breaker. And then I would have had to tase you. I don't think that was a joke. Why do you have a taser anyway? Is that even legal? Probably. It's for self-defense, right? And good company on lonely nights. Okay, enough fucking around. We have a lot of work to do. She melted me into her office. It was pretty small and completely cluttered with cardboard boxes. Okay, Trixie, you're going to help me with my side business spring cleaning. We're going to go through these boxes and sort the junk into these two other much bigger boxes. This is the stuff to be burned box. She kicked a generic wooden crate soaked in petrol. I chose not to question her health and safety practices and just tried to avoid breathing too much. And this is the stuff that might actually be worth money box. She tapped a sturdy metal safe. Okay, so what kind of stuff are we sorting? Like extra stock or what? Just like old antiques and books, nothing too important. Let's just get on with it, okay? I want to close in time. She dropped a card box full of junk into the desk in front of me. I started rooting around and found it was a box full of trash. Mostly dusty books falling apart of the seams and broken old antiques. But the more I looked, the more it became clear some of this stuff might actually be valuable. I pulled a golden bracelet out of the box and blew dust off of it. Engraved onto it was a strange fish-like face with a single opal eye that seemed to stare at me. Jeez, how much money do you make selling this stuff? Heck, where do you even get this stuff from in this first place? Grave robbing. This looks expensive. Heidi shot me an annoyed look. Don't question it. So a lot, and illegally, got it. I chuckled to myself. Heidi seemed unamused. I carefully put the bracelet into the safe. As I sorted through the box, it became pretty clear there was a theme to Heidi's stuff. It was all in some way arcane. Old magic books, spooky scrolls, and even what seemed to be occult apparel, like the bracelet I'd found earlier. Heidi, do you believe in any of this stuff? Monsters and magic, I mean? She looked at me for a moment, somewhat puzzled. Of course not. I've never seen any monsters or magic. But don't you ever get tempted to try out any of the spells in these books? I opened up one of the thick, dusty tomes and skimmed through it, looking for an example. Before I could read anything, Heidi slammed it shut on my fingers. Hey, ow! Okay, new rule. You don't look at anything for any longer than it takes to work it out if it's valuable. Got it? I nodded. No, I don't believe in this stuff, but... Look, I'd like to keep it that way, okay? I've met people who like this crap and messes with their heads. This stuff is best left ignored, okay? Ignorance is bliss. She got back to work. And her lack of belief. I hope with enough time my brain could fully convince me that what I saw night before was just a heat, dehydration, and sport-fueled hallucination. But I think even then I knew the truth. Heidi seemed to know that we were only inches from madness and intended to never test that distance. We sorted through the boxes for a while. Most of the stuff was pretty uninteresting, but a few things caught my eye. A copper amulet, a shard of amber with a strange ancient bag frozen inside of it, some long-distance ancestor to a modern bee perhaps, a manuscript detailing a ritual to summon rain, and at one point a Dungeons and Fungeons rulebook with Heidi's name on it, which was quickly grabbed off of me and stuffed into Heidi's desk drawer. I was getting pretty bored. Some of the stuff looked really interesting, but I knew Heidi would snap at me if I tried to look into any of it. Fortunately, there was a sound outside. Someone had walked into the shop. Heidi slinked over to the peephole in her office door suspiciously. Ah, it's a customer. Trixie, you take care of this stuff. I'll go do this schmuck. She walked into the shop, snapping at the customer for looking at something too strangely before the door closed behind her. I picked up one of the last items in the box, a small book titled Spiral Speeches of the Star Gods. Most of it seemed to be missing, but there was a few pages left. It sounded kind of interesting. Read it! Finally! I decided to use this chance and flicked through the remnants of the book. Spiral Speeches of the Star Gods. Across the world, hundreds of tablets etched with identical spirals have been uncovered by archaeological digs. Thanks to bird mythology, these are popularly known as the Star Gods tablets. Though there hasn't been much speculation around these strange artifacts, the most obvious origin is clearly the humble sheep. Famously, every sheep has a near identical spiral on the right front hoof, a strange evolutionary quirk. This exactly matches the spirals seen in supposed Star God tablets. As the Star Gods are without a doubt entirely fictitious, the most obvious conclusion is that ancient societies would use sheep to produce this strange art. Most likely these etchings were painted when originally created, but any evidence of this has long since faded with time. Of course, some old bird legends would suggest that sheep created this themselves by pressing their feet into wet clay and allowing this to harden. This would make sense, if not for sheep showing no signs of the creativity needed to create such art, let alone the intelligence to produce clay tablets. That said, anyone who has seen the footprints of a sheep can certainly agree that the process would be physically possible for them, if unlikely. This may merely be a misinterpretation for the claim. It is entirely possible sheep were specially trained to perform this task, or had their hooves used as tools after death. Other bird legends describe the supposed star gods themselves creating these texts, hence the relevance to the tablets, though such stories are the realm of fantasy. The largest discovery of these relics were found in the Ash Islands of the Oceania and would have fallen from the sky after being thrown into the air by the Great Dark Age cataclysm. This would make their original location, the Siberian Wastes, the supposed home of the star gods. Nevertheless, the story is just the pages ended there. The book had seen some better days. It had been an interesting read. I threw it into the trash box. It wasn't long before Heidi was back. Sorry about it. Customers are paying. Well, you finished. Nice one. She looked genuinely pleased with me. You know, you didn't do a bad job. She seemed to think for a moment. Trixie, how would you like to help me out again? For money, I mean. Your crowbar debt is paid. Oh, wow. I've never had a job before, maybe. So, you actually had a job offer from Greg and now another one from Heidi, so we can drop off the university and start working in the town next to Daffodil Lane and be cursed forever and probably die suspiciously or go missing. Sounds like something I would like to do in this game. I want to help Heidi, if just to satisfy my curiosity about her strange inventory, but I also want to hang out with Greg or Belle. I wasn't sure there would be time for that too. Actually, I think I'm gonna agree. I mean, we are making money here, and for Greg, we're just gonna assist, and he has actually money trouble already, and Belle, yeah, I guess we can go with her some other time. Yeah, I guess it might be fun. I could use the money to buy more bad stuff. Bad stuff? Okay, sure. Tell you what, come along tomorrow at like 3 o'clock, you can help me out. Plenty more work to do. She tapped one of the unsorted boxes. Cool, okay Heidi, thank you. Right, I better start closing up. Thank you for your help. I'll see ya, Trixie. I wished her a good evening and started the walk home to my bed. I could definitely use some sleep. I was walking past Wilbur Hall on my way to bed when I noticed Nikita fumbling with the vending machine. She was trying to pull a bar of toffee millet out of the slot, but it seemed to be stuck. She gave the machine a frustrated kick, and the snack fell out. As she picked it up, she noticed me watching her. "Oh, hello, Trixie. I'm just on my way back to my room. I have to finish reading the..." She seemed almost scared to say it. "The King in Yellow. Yes, The King in Yellow." Nikita seemed skittish. Her usually tidy clothing was scruffy, her fur unbrushed, and her eyes flitted around the hallway frantically. Her constant fidgeting made her look eager to finish talking to me and get back to her room. It was like she'd just been for a spin and tumble dryer full of caffeine. Are you okay, Nikita? You're kind of a mess. Have you been reading all day or something?" "Oh, yes, I have. All day, yes. Last night, too. Preliminary research. It has been an illuminating read thus far. I need to read a little more about Trixie." She grabbed me by the shoulders, pulling close. I looked down at her scared eyes. I knew all too much about the reputation of the King in Yellow. I didn't want to believe it could have done this to Nikita, but this wasn't right. "Trixie, I need to make some notes, and I need to double check, read between the lines, but..." "No, never mind. We can discuss this later, when I'm certain." She let go of me. "I better get back to my room. Yes. Good night, Trixie." She did a sort of shaky, fast walk away from the towards me accommodation block. "Bye, Nikita." I was scared. Could this really have been the work of that play? I shook my head. This had to be sleep deprivation. She'd barely slept in weeks with her campaign planning and coursework. I didn't like Nikita, but I was genuinely worried about her health. I figured I'd let her finish reading and get some sleep. Then I could always make sure she was okay in the morning. So I'm guessing like Nikita is going crazy because of the book, right? So that got me intrigued. Can I have a copy? Is there a PDF to download along with this game? It would be awesome. I was planning to muck about on my laptop until I got tired enough to sleep, but it was on my desk and I couldn't be bothered to get back out of bed. I remembered the book about ghosts I'd gotten hold of a few weeks back that was probably still on the floor next to my bed. I remembered it was pretty tacky. Peering over the edge, I could see it was. After my sighting in the basement, I thought it might be relevant. If I was going to stay awake a little longer, I thought I may as well use my time productively. Well, reading tacky ghost stories, is that using your time productively? I don't think so, but well, who am I to judge, right? Before I could reach for the book, my phone buzzed. Tabby had sent me a message. That was unexpected. I don't speak of Tabby often, which is sad because I kind of wish we were friends, but I don't think she really notices me. I used to think she was kind of weird, but after the last week, I have to admit, I'm taking her more seriously. I wasn't sure if I could handle the conversation with her right then, but I did think it would be kind of nice to talk to someone. Yeah, I messaged Tabby. "Hey Trixie, one of my psycho crystals." "Oh, so that's Tabby, the one from the crystal chick, right? The green spiral aligned one went missing. I was wondering if you have seen it anywhere." "Hey, sorry Tabby, I haven't seen it. When did it go missing?" "No worries. Someone today, I think." "Oh no, I'll keep my eye out for it." "Hey Tabby, do you know The King in Yellow?" "Sorry not to bug you, I'm just wondering if you're not busy." "Oh yes, the infamous haunted play, I know it. I can't say I've read it though." "Why? You're searching for something?" "I heard that's generally a bad idea." "Not to discourage you, but it would be a great study for next year." "Ha no, I'm not going to read it. I'm pretty sure it doesn't even exist anymore." "I was just wondering if you knew much about it. You're a great student." "Ha, well, I have to be if I want to be the student union president next year, right?" I read a few books out on the union library. Maybe you could get them out? The notes of Grant and Christopher Willenheim or whatever were really good for obvious reasons. Anyway, I got to get some sleep. I'm going to Wolf's South tomorrow in Midtown. Going to be super hot in my costume. Not in that way, you cheeky rat. Maybe you should come to the Wolcon with me. Wolcon, so like a convent, right? So I'm wondering because these characters in the game are like furries, you know, like animals who look kind of like humans. So I wonder if they go to some kind of convents for cosplay. Do they cosplay humans or do they cosplay different animals? Just leaving it here. Just a thought. Maybe you should come to Wolfcon with me someone, if you're into that. Maybe. I'll let you get to sleep. Thanks, Tabby. I'll look out for you, Crystal. Tabby's nice, but I really don't know if she likes me or not. I wasn't super keen on the idea of going to Woolcom. Dressing as sheep. Oh, sheep. Okay, Woolcom. Yeah, I should have guessed that, but I read it as a Wolfcom, so. And whipping or whatever they do at those cons didn't sound super appealing. So, I'm guessing the Woolcom, it's like a convent for the Satanistic rituals, right? I hope so. Regardless, it is time to sleep. I had a dreamless but relaxing sleep. I woke up feeling almost well rested for the first time in weeks. I guess socializing had done some good for me. I was pretty irritable in the morning, but I sent Nikita a message anyway. And we are going to find out what kind of message she sent to Nikita in the next episode, and we will see how it goes with Heidi, Greg and Belle, if I'm going to maybe start dating them, if the game turns into some kind of weird, furry dating sim. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next episode. Take care, bye bye.